Well, Carol and Paula, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today about the Alliance statements.
Yeah, we are so excited to sit down with you both and to hear from y'all about the statement process. It reminds me of that Schoolhouse Rock video, you know the one, I'm just a bill. Anyway.
So if it's okay with you, we'd like to run through a few questions to help those newer to the Alliance understand our governing system and how statements are created and decided.
Sure.
Okay. Great. Well, let's get down to the basics first. What is a statement, and why would the Alliance want to adopt a statement?
Well, our statements are based on our understanding of Scripture and are guided by the Spirit. And we've been adopting statements since the inception of the Alliance, adopting them at our annual meeting and at our Board of Directors meetings, and they express the Alliance's commitments. So a statement is just that, a declaration from the perspective we have as people of faith, which articulates our commitments on matters of social justice and moral issues about which the Alliance supporters have calling and energy. These statements address areas of justice making such as peacemaking and economic justice, racial justice, creation justice, human sexuality, global concerns, and human rights. And not only do these statements address these areas about which we have commitments and our response to pursue God's justice and love for all, they also empower the Alliance staff to join with our ecumenical and interfaith partners in prophetically speaking out for justice. So almost every week, the Alliance has opportunity to sign on to interfaith and ecumenical letters that advocate for legislation to bring about peace and justice and care for all. So these statements empower the staff to speak out on behalf of the Alliance Baptists.
Who can write a statement?
Well, this is the Alliance, so anybody can write a statement. We usually receive them from individual people, from communities in the Alliance, from another group. They've come from all sorts of places.
And after a statement is written, how does it get submitted?
There's a deadline. We do have to have a process, even though we don't want to have a process. There is a process. You send in the statements, and the staff reviews them, maybe looks at them to see if there's already been a statement in the past that was similar to this, or if there's any suggestions that need to be made. Then the staff will let the executive committee of the board know what statements we're receiving, just so they know. And then the statements are put on the Alliance website at least 30 days prior to the annual gathering so that you can read them and become familiar and be prepared to talk about them when we get to the annual gathering.
That's really, really helpful. Thank you, Carol. And thank you both for sharing the information. So let's say that I'm interested in learning more about the statements that the Alliance has already adopted. Where might one go to find some previous statements?
Well, on our website. On the website, there's a tab called Who We Are, and there you can find a link to the existing statements, and the ones we've adopted, and some sign-ons, and you might see that we're missing some, actually, about which areas about which you have concern. So maybe you could put the link to the statements page out with the link to this video?
Yeah, we can certainly link to that page on this video. So for this year, if someone would like to write a statement for consideration at this year's annual gathering, what's the deadline for that?
So the deadline is March the 9th. So all proposed statements need to be sent by email to staff@allianceofbaptists.org by March the 9th of 2020 for consideration at this year's annual gathering.
And if folks have further questions?
Well, of course, they can reach out to the staff or any of our officers for more information.
Well, thanks again. This has been super helpful.
Well, thank you for asking.
And send in your statements
By March the 9th.
And we'll look forward to being with you in Texas.
Yes, come join us.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. Thanks, y'all.